Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a very pleasant night to you, my pack, and welcome back once more to Vega Conflict. It's time to break down the Doric cruiser that drops with the Overload event here. And right off the bat, we know that it has 2 blood weapon slots in comparison to the Vertible. It's basically just the Vertible, but with a little bit more mass, so you have a little bit more room to play around. Other than that, we have the Pulmonary Ray, which is the new weapon dropping for it, and it has damage per second on par with, well, my favorite blood shotgun at the moment, so I'll have to wait and see. Well, actually, spread 5 degrees. Okay, so it's like a shotgun as well. Yeah. Okay, before I go into the actual details of the vessel and do the blueprints section here, which will do a cutaway to pre-edited stuff that I set up, I'll go ahead and I'll cover the stuff in the shop because I don't have any of the screenshots for this, so it won't be included there. So right off the bat, Pulmonary Ray 4, which is the blood weapon, which I will always recommend that you get as many as you can and equip them on your ships and whatnot, because, well, the blood weapons are the primary easy damage type against every single AI fleet so far. So, 42,210 damage per second. Unknown how much burst damage it has, but if it's anything like the Cardiac, it's going to be monstrous, and based on the damage values it has, it's basically going to be like it. 6,098 tons, 3,250 meters range, 4,000 meters per second speed, 5 degrees of spread, and it can be equipped on any Vega vessel, so you could put this on the Dreadnought, for instance. I'm going to quickly take a look at the Cardiac, because I want to see what the comparison is for that one real quick, especially for the spread. Let's see here. Oh, it was one of the more recently released, I think. Yeah. Okay, so 12 degrees compared to 5, so it has less than half the spread, so that'll be a very, very tight band burst of damage, so that'll be actually pretty good, especially with the extremely high value that it has. Let's hop back over. I don't think there's anything else just new. We got cruisers, we got all of those, we've got the prefit, which I'll talk about in the video when I make that one later on today after the vessel is in our hands. But I think that will be it for now. So, let's jump right into the next part of the video and the main part, which is the stats breakdown of the ship, the blueprint weapons, the new armor, and the new shielding. Diving right in with the Doric cruiser, we have a 2-hour flat repair time, 300,000 hit points, a maximum mass of 19,250 tons, cargo of 3,500,000 tons, forward speed of 420 meters per second, a rotation speed of 35 degrees per second, strafe of 200, and sector speed of 600. As for modifiers, 15% increase against both frigate and cutters, and Spectre, Retrociders, Retrosyn, the typical 400% you can expect, as well as full resistance to them. Down here we got an armor health resistance and an armor health increase of 10%. It's literally right before I'm getting ready to head to bed, so my mind's not fully here, but I also want to make sure that I get this taken care of, so that there's some content released today from me, whether it be a little bit messy or not. Back down to the armor, we got an armor mass reduction of 55% and a shield mass reduction of 50%, resurgence of 20%, and under resistances we have Altarian, Umbral, Spectre, blah blah. Okay, so it's got no special resistances at all. On to the weapons. Starting with the Pulmonary Ray 1, you got 21,894 damage per second. Again, don't know what the burst damage is going to be like. It has a mass of 2,939 tons, a range of, well, we went over the range and speed and the spread with the other ones, so we just have to mainly go over the DPS and the weight. So on to level 2 real quick. Coming in with 28,595 damage, weighing at 3,994 tons. I just want to do a quick comparison, bring it all back to the screen. It is the exact same weight class as the Cardiac, but much less damage, to say the least. Yeah, a lot less. 35,000, 37,000. There's a small jump there, but this one's just 21 to 28, you know, massive jump. So that way, it actually encourages you to at least use the higher level. And with similar weight, well, the exact same weight, it'll be easy to swap them out. Okay, back to the fancy pre-edited screenshots and whatnot. So we go in and take a look at the armor next. Hemoglobin 1. Weighing in at 1,484 tons, that is some fairly lightweight armor. 300,000 hit points and a resistance of 5% across the board. Level 2. 2,048 tons. 475,000 hit points and 10% resistance across the board against the meta damage type. This is basically just better armor than what we already have if you're trying to do crunch builds where you can't exactly use heavier armor. So it's a nice little takeaway, to say the least. And on to the shielding. Now, the shielding is just overall better than the previous just because of the damage reductions it provides, so it's most definitely going to be used for the most part on every single vessel moving forwards. So, level 1 of the circulatory shields. We have a mass value of 1,360 tons, an energy of 228,000, defense of 90%, and 50% reduction against explosive, energy, and kinetic. Level 2 has the exact same reduction values and defense values, so you don't have to look at that. Mass, it weighs 1,904 tons, not too bad, and has an energy of 410,400. Was better than when they made the shield where it was the exact same number forwards as it was backwards. That one was hilarious. And bringing you all back real quick, because this is going to be the end of the video once we're done here. We have the Ichor shield compared to it, and as you can see, 240,000, 228,000, weighs much less, and then it has 50% more damage reduction, which means that that effective value is far more than the effective value of the Ichor shield, so it's just a far better choice in comparison to the armor, where it depends on what your build is, because you can always get more health out of the level 1, especially if the vessels are boosting the health even further. But for the most part, the shield is definitely an upgrade overall that you'll take on just about everything, just because level 2 compared to level 2 weighs a lot less and provides a much, much better defense value. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to head to bed and get this edited together later on today before the event launches, get it published in time, or hope to. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on the Doric cruiser right here because I like the way it looks. I would actually like to take a closer look at it in game because I like the way that some of the cruisers look in the game, especially the old cruisers, and I'll probably make a video about that sometime, but for now that's going to be it. I need to head to bed, so be safe out there, happy hunting, and as always, I'll see you later. Blah.